Good evening and welcome to Being Black and Craft, where we don't apologize for recognizing our influence in craft beer. This is Angie, the undeniable vixen, your host. We have a great guest this evening, but let's go ahead and get into a little bit of beer news. So it seems like it's been forever since I've talked to y'all, but let's get into it. So first off, that is not the one that I wanted, but let's go ahead and start it off. I didn't want to start talking about me just right off the bat, but just to let y'all know, we're getting a little bit closer to CBP Connects in New Orleans, Craft Beer Professionals, and I am hosting a panel with John Renthrope, Don Richard, and Ari Ballard. So just to give you a quick commercial, there's something different about New Orleans, right? The rhythm, the flavor, the heartbeat that brings people together. One story, one song, every pint tells a story. So in this city, culture is just not a trend, it's a way of life. And this is where we get a chance to let that spirit inspire how we connect, collaborate, and create in craft brewing. So this year, Being Black and Craft will be hosting a panel, which is we'll have those three people, and it's called Multiculturalism on Tap: New Orleans as a Model for Community Engagement. And what we'll be discussing is how to engage with authenticity in diverse communities, celebrating cultures through inclusive events, and bringing meaningful connections the New Orleans way. So if you're in the New Orleans area, are you planning to want to take a quick trip? I won't even talk about the flying issue, but if you can get there between the 8th to the 10th, I believe our panel is on the last day, and we'd love to see you. This is a great conference that kind of goes all over the country. And this is a little bit more niche because it's a more intimate, where after you see a panel or see a discussion, you can actually, connect with that person and get more information from them and glean more things from them. And that's what I really like about what Andrew has done with CBP. And I'm so glad that it's in New Orleans, my neck of the woods, with family and friends and stuff. So that's coming up very soon. Then if you're in the Youngstown area, Youngstown, Ohio, a kid just from Youngstown, Ohio, Dope, is having an event, Dope Cider House and Winery. Hannah is doing free food, baby, and winter essentials for the community. So she's asking for donations and also giving those donations out with no proof of food assistance required, no questions asked, which I love that part about it, because it's already very frustrated if you're in a position, especially with how the economy is right now. They're always wanting you to fill out all this paperwork, do this, do that, jump through all these hoops for these things that they're saying that is allotted to us. So I'm really excited for Hannah and her team doing this drive, and I hope other people take heed to that as well. I know, I was talking to my mother earlier. A church in DFW, they basically gave $2,000 to the people that are being treated as far as like not getting their monies from this FAA and all this kind of stuff. The people that are in the that are doing the oh my gosh, I can't even think of it, in the airports. So they gave them $2,000. I think it was probably 20 people. It may have been a little bit more, but TSA. Oh my goodness! I think I'm having withdrawals because I'm going to have to go to the airport next week, and I'm so scared. But this is really great. I'm hoping that when we can't depend on the government, we can't always do that we can depend on each other. And this is what it looks like. So I'm really glad for this. And I'm glad that I'm seeing more and more people are getting just things together. If it's just with your neighborhood, it's small entities can make big differences. So this is really great. Then I know it is past October, but just to recognize again Ted Mack Sr. and Ted Mack II featured here for National Black Brewers Day, which is something that we are really excited about. That this is being celebrated in so many different states and being honored through legislation to have an official day. And so People's Beer Company in they have that event, and it's just so good to see that the MB2A also joined with that celebration to honor Ted Mack, who was basically the first Black person to have a brewery, and we still recognize that and know that he was one of the first Black brewers in the United States that had an actual brewery. So shout out to Ted Mack. And there's Raj with sampling some goodies at Oak Park Brewing there in Sacramento, California. Excuse me. Then we also have the beer experience, the beer experience with Vivian. I knew I was going to get tongue tied. She is doing something really great. Way before Juneteenth, get everything set up and ready. I love this. Last year she did a tribute to the women in 90s. I believe it was hip hop. So this year, well, in 2026, she's going to do a tribute to the men of 90s R&B. So this is their third year. They're supporting local breweries, supporting local businesses and local nonprofits, and building community while honoring Juneteenth. And that's what it's all about. So she's canvassing right now. So if you're a brewery and you want to collab on a special beer, let's go. If you are a beer-related space and you want to partner with a brewery to brew a beer, come on. If you're a business and you want to partner with a brewery to brew a beer, let's do it. So if you're a bar or restaurant and you want to sell Juneteenth beer, just say the word. So if you want to support. And I love what Vivian has done. She has basically made sure that the spaces are made available for Juneteenth, and collaborating and making beers and getting those donations and putting it back into the community, because that's what it's about. So shout out to Vivian, and we'll continue as it gets closer, because she's doing an early shout out, but we'll keep on posting about this Juneteenth event, because she hasn't said where it actually is going to be at. So stay tuned for that. Then over in Chicago, just this weekend, it was FOBAB. So Black Horizon, friend of the show, they got two. They had two things. They had a runner-up for Best in Show and a gold medal winner at FOBAB. And I think that was for last year, but they brought it back. And it is Earth to You, a 10-month gin barrel-aged Mexican lager with hibiscus, rose hips, and orange peel at 5%, real easy drinking. Then they had a brand new barrel-aged beer. It was Imprisoned in the Moon, a 10-month rye whiskey barrel-aged lager with Saigon, cinnamon, red currant, and plums. And that's also at 5%. So really nice ease drinking, which usually these barrel-aged beers are usually 10, 12, 15. They can be up there. They can, you can only get a little sip, a little taster of those if you want to make it through this type of festival. So to have this one and have it be so low in alcohol volume is a nice sipper. So that's really great. So congratulations to them. Then we were doing another little shout out to Anthony Hayes, as he is putting out his first beer at Peace in Chicago. We're still in the Chicago area, where he brewed alongside with Zach Day of Funky Town Brewery, friend of the show, Aaron Lee of A Few Spirits, and Jacob Meza of Omega Yeast. So it's called Piece by Piece. The beer was brewed with fonio, which is, of course, all the rage, which is an African grain, and a Haas hops, which was a custom Michael Jackson Foundation hop blend. So they did that, and he's passing it out, and just this is one of his first days on the job. So this is really great. Congratulations to him, because he was one of the awardees for the Michael Jackson Foundation, which they just recently closed the nominations for the scholarship. And if you didn't get to be a part of the scholarship for this go round, it comes back around. And it is for beer, it is for spirits. It could be the gambit. If you're wanting to advance your career in fermentation, you might want to consider doing the Michael Jackson Foundation to see how they can help you connect with funds to getting to that next level. So make sure you follow Michael Jackson's Foundation and see when the next go round for applications come up. And that's all I have for news. All right, so let me go ahead and pick up my guest. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So let's see. So my guest today is refining what it means to distill legacy and precision one bottle at a time. He's a military veteran, a Bronze Star recipient, and a visionary founder of Porta, Vodka.
48
Portier. Okay.
Right.
Portier, but I knew it was something I was supposed to ask you behind the scenes. A spirit crafted with French winter wheat, artisanal water, and pure dedication. So we welcome Robert Fox and bring up the next generation of vodka to life. Thank you for
Hello.
joining.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let me first take a moment with the idea of Portier.
Right. Right.
Okay, Portier vodka. When it first hit you, what was it? A spark? Was it you were sipping on something? You said I could do it better. What, or was it just a calling?
It kind of started when I was serving in the military. I spent 22 years uh, in the military, in the Army, and on each assignment that I was on, I just wanted to try the country's vodka. I would be in Uzbekistan, Russia, um, Poland, Japan. And what I found is there's no language barrier when it comes to vodka. You can walk into any establishment and you say the word vodka, they know exactly what you're talking about. And they will give you their version of their vodka. So in Russia, it would be uh, Russian standard vodka, which is a wheat vodka.
Okay.
And in Poland, uh, Lucas Sowa, something like that. It's a potato vodka. And when I was in Japan, Hakum, which was made out of rice. So just all of my stops, different assignments, I just developed an enthusiasm for trying different vodka. And in my latter years, before I retired, and I always had in my head that what would it, how hard would it be to create your own brand of vodka? And I sat on it about 2 years, and you're right. I woke up with an epiphany one morning and like, let me pursue this long term goal of mine, and it kind of started from there.
Okay. Okay. So you describe Portier as the next generation of vodka. What
Uh-huh.
does what does this phrase mean to you? What is the meaning behind the bottle?
So the meaning behind the bottle, when I say the next generation of vodka, I'm speaking of somewhat a youthful new generation of vodka consumers.
Mhm.
Vodka is the number one consumed spirit in the world. It's an $84 billion uh, business globally. Uh, 30 billion in the United States, and you got a younger demographic. I say younger, 21 to 27, 28 to 34, with the mixed drinks and the flavored drinks or cocktails.
Mhm.
And so, that demographic is the higher percentage of consumers. Um, it's 16.5%, 21 to 27, 22.5%, 28 to 34. So, I said the younger generation, that's the core of my consumers. And then it goes, up from there uh, to the little older age groups, mostly with the cocktails, the lemon drops,
Mhm.
uh, drinks of that nature. So that's where I wanted to kind of
Yeah.
initially start from.
Yeah, I'm a Bloody Mary girl. That's why I
Okay,
love vodka.
right.
Uh,
Okay.
so yeah,
Bloody
so
Mary.
it's interesting because that is definitely has always been the pinpoint of the demographic that you mentioned.
Hmm.
And there's been the trend has kind of changed because there's also um, noted as far as a decline in that area between the 21, 22 to a little bit by 30 that they've stopped
Hmm.
drinking.
Right.
And so how have you pivoted from that finding out about that drop where or where you think that's maybe coming from?
Well, I guess the younger age groups, they're not consuming alcohol as much. Um, just kind of being out and about and just doing my own personal study, just kind of hanging around different establishments and asking questions, just seeing what pulls different uh, age groups to what they like to drink. And
Hmm.
so that's why I kind of came up with confirming those statistics, and and I just kind of went from there. Um, the RTDs, the ready to drink
Hmm.
uh, beverages in the cans, and the flavored vodkas. That's what's kind of happening right now in the spirits industry, especially with the youth. They don't really kind of want to deal with the nothing too strong. They like it a little flavored. They don't want to feel too woozy too fast.
Pom pom.
So right. So their tolerance is a little different, but those are the little things that I kind of started paying attention to and studying, and so that's where I am today on that.
Okay, yeah. So have you had any early challenges with Portier as far as being a person of color uh, in this competitive spirit? Uh,
Oh, oh yes. Where you want to start? Well, I'll tell you what. Uh, we'll start at the core of it all with the funding, of course.
mhm,
Um, I'm fortunate to be in a state where they have a lot of the Texas Veterans Commission here in Houston. They helped me out a lot, but I kind of had to learn about them through networking with the grants and a couple little institutions with the business credit and stuff like that. So that was initially that was the issue, and I had to go through a lot of red tape and a couple places. I kind of felt for sure, uh, just being a black male in the spirits industry. You learn how to navigate through those question marks.
mhm.
So that was the biggest hurdle for me. once I kind of figured out that way of getting through that, things kind of opened up for me more.
Okay. So are you how long have you been in business? How long have you had the Portier?
So it's been about a year, 3 years in the making, about a year and a half actually getting my product bottled and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when people first taste Portier, what's the story or the emotion that you're wanting them to get after they have their first sip?
When they take their first sip, their misconception with vodka, is it going to burn or has a bitter taste or none of sorts. It's a smooth experience, uh, a great aftertaste,
Mm-hmm.
and I always look for the eyebrows to go up. Like, whoa, okay, it's not what I expected,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's the initial impression that I'm looking for, and like I said, it happens definitely with the youth, but as you get up in the age, the older age groups, they want to see if they can taste it neat without being in the cocktail. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the challenge. So when I see that they can consume it neat and not have the wrinkles in their forehead and, kind of, doing that little deal when something's a
Yeah.
little too strong. So that's the reaction that I look for. You know,
Okay. Okay.
but
That's 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 definitely good because uh being a brand ambassador, especially when I'm doing things like bourbon or like a different type of whiskey, especially during these holiday seasons, or even
mhm,
sometimes even I would even say vodka. I'm giving them just enough to wet the tongue, but
right,
when they're taking it so hard, I was like, some things you need to let it lay on the tongue. You need to get the essence of what you're drinking because you're just getting shock value when you're just knocking it back like that.
right. Sip it slow and just kind of taste the different nuances uh, within the vodka. Of course, my focus just in my travels, I like the traditional taste with the winter wheat.
Mhm.
Um, that's what I prefer. Here in Texas, majority is corn vodka. They
Mhm.
like theirs with to make theirs out of corn. So uh, I try to focus on the traditional sense. When before they taste it, I'm telling them, hey, this is like the original uh, consumed taste of what vodka started out as,
Mhm.
and just kind of give them, let it build up, and then once they taste it, we definitely we go from there.
Yeah, because I can really imagine, especially with vodka, because people just make this. Oh, I know what that tastes like. So
Hmm.
they just kind of pass, as far as tasting, they'll just like, oh, I know what that is. It's like,
Nah.
no, no,
Nah.
because they're all different. Because there's some that are not my jam. And then there's some that I can't wait to get my hands on the bottle.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I can really can see that. I can definitely see that.
Oh
So
yes.
winter wheat and artisanal water
Uh-huh.
is the ingredients and the essentials. So
Yeah.
that was your preference. Were there any others that if you couldn't have the winter wheat, is there another one that you would have preferred?
Well, you have winter wheat. You have spring wheat, and you have potatoes. You can make it out of potatoes.
Mhm.
Of course, I said rice and corn. You have rye, uh, grapes. You can pretty much you have sugar cane, vodka. So it's just what you come across you're interested in the taste that you like. Um, but no, I definitely, if I couldn't use the winter wheat, then that'd probably be a game changer for me.
Hmm.
I may try to look in something else, the
Oh, you
bourbon.
you might would have gave it up altogether. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Take
was
away
so
I don't want it. Okay.
it's like my go-to. I consumed it for years,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just that's pretty much the only thing that I like to drink. And so if I'm gonna pursue be a founder and a brand owner, then for me, my interest is vodka.
Okay. So in your military journey, what lessons have you basically used to fortify yourself in the business that you're in right now?
Uh, oh, a lot of lessons. Number one is just having endurance to just to stick by your plan. Um, you can't try to rush and go through an expedited process. It deals with patience,
Hmm.
uh, leadership, uh, understanding the business, as far as doing your homework
Hmm.
and just not trying to get uh, just overly consumed in the unknown. So you definitely have to have a plan of action, the focus on the mission per se, and uh, and go from there. It's a uh, daily routine,
Okay.
repetitive.
Um, on your logo, is that a horse or is that a fox?
So this is a fox.
It
That's
is
my
a
logo.
fox. Okay.
It is a fox. Yes.
Okay. So tell me more about that because that's my logo too. I'm vixen as far as fox. It's supposed to be just lie about different things. So tell me more about your fox.
So I have my bottle here. I don't know if you can see
Yes.
that. Okay. So I wanted to go more with not just a fox face, somewhat. I mean, like the shape of the fox's face.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of zoomed in on this with the and want to keep it kind of simple. Um, so I went with the eyes and the kind of the fox face, facial features, and the hair that comes off the back of the
Hmm.
head and stuff. So that's pretty much where it started, and I didn't want to get too complex with it,
Yeah.
but uh, but that's where that came from.
Okay. Okay. So inside the bottle, as far as the distillation process, how many times
hmm
has it? Is there a certain amount of times as far as the distillation? Can
So
you walk me
so
through the process?
so mid tier brands, leading brands, they're distilled anywhere from 6 times or more, 5 times or more.
Mhm.
Belvedere, Grey Goose, Kettle One, they're all like from 5 to 6 times. But my brand is 4 times. I feel
Mhm.
like 4 times is enough to give it more. 4 times is enough for the base of what uh, the base of my vodka for the winter wheat. If it was another uh, source, the corn or potatoes, that may vary uh, for how many times you want to distill it. But 4 times is that's the hit spot for me.
Okay.
So that's when I was looking at that. That's another evaluation that I was taking from the consumers. Hey, does it feel it's too strong or too little? So that's the number that I stayed on. It's four times still.
Okay. Yeah, I that sounds like a good number. I learned in my education that some people wanting like I needed to be, it needs to be eight, 8 times or 10 times. I was like,
Right.
when I found out, yeah, that's not really that's not all that great for it to be. What are you trying to get rid of? You
Right.
know, you're
Right.
trying to get rid of what you're supposed to be technically enjoying. So what's wrong? What's wrong with your vodka?
Exactly. And you hit it. You hit the nail on the head with that. You don't want to. Yeah, you still it that many times. You know,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere from 4 to 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal experience or my level of expertise.
Yeah.
Anything after that, you know, give or take, just depends. Majority 4 to 6 times.
Okay. So what does legacy mean to you now that you've turned your dream into a tangible brand?
Legacy, tradition, culture, something that's going to be passed down. It's going to expand generations to generation. Um, your kids, your grandkids, and beyond. I'd like to say one day, or like to hear or know one day, hey, this is my grandfather's formula, or this is my uncle. That's his brand. Have you ever heard of 48 Vodka? Oh yeah, years to come, decades from now, even after I'm not here anymore. That's
Mhm.
that's what I view as true legacy.
Have you had any rumblings as far as in your family past that someone may have dabbled in something?
Yes, I have my grandfather who's 97, by the way.
Oh,
You know,
wonderful.
he used to be a bootlegger in
Uh-huh.
Mississippi. So he used to make runs in his time. And I have an uncle who currently he uh, he produces wine.
Okay.
He has his own little, I guess his own little distillery. Off
Mhm.
off the official uh,
Beaten
footprint.
path. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, I got some wine upstairs in the attic that I've had like 12 years. So my uncle and my grandfather uh, definitely into producing alcohol. Well, they were. My uncle is, and my grandfather used to.
Well, it's good to know that you got it honest.
Well, yeah, I got it from somewhere. I
Yeah.
definitely. It came a little late, but when the bug bit me, it really took a chunk out of it.
So what does it feel like with you seeing more people of color that are not
Mhm.
just consuming but creating spirits? Because there's quite a few brands out there. What do you think about
I,
that?
I love it, and I'm gonna tell you how my umbrella of associating with different brand owners, how it really expanded. Uh, it was last year, like September of last year. I
Mhm.
stumbled upon a Mr. Lazar Favors with Taste of Black Spirits, and I saw they were doing a few stops, little tour stops, just uh, expanding the knowledge of different Black brands and stuff like that. So I went to Detroit,
Okay.
blindfolded, didn't know anyone. Uh, and when I left there, I had a huge impression of the vision and the Black owned spirits industry, the unknown and those that were trying to break through. And that really opened my eyes uh, to Black spirit brand ownership. And I'll be forever in Mr. Lazar's debt for allowing me to join the tour, number one, but uh, just the different people that I've met and continue to meet. That was
Mhm.
last year. I went this year as well. and it just gives you a whole outlook on black owned spirit brands.
Yes.
Vodka, bourbon, uh, whiskey, tequila. Just uh, you just get a different blueprint on how to expand your brand and just all avenues, and it's still growing for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, I would. That's uh, that's my big well as far
Mhm.
as getting to actually sit down and have a chat with him because he's done an amazing job. And I've been wanting to get out to one of the events. Um,
Oh,
it's coming close by, so there's always one. Is I've been so busy.
yeah, it's one of those deals where you have to check the block on doing this one thing at least once in your life.
Yeah,
It's definitely one of those things that
yeah.
you can't leave the earth without attending a black spirits a taste of black spirits event, hands down.
Hmm.
It's an understatement.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great
Yes.
connection right there.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I believe several of the people that I've talked to have been to the event and some at one of the locations they had.
Hmm.
Uh, but
Hmm.
just to be in a room and it's all people of color and
Yes.
having, being able to see their stories and how they've evolved is
Hmm.
just amazing. I'm sure it's just amazing.
It's awesome. So this was my second year in attendance. Of course, I did like 24, and of course 2025. But even in that short amount of time, just continuing to meet more people, more people. It's like a spider
Mhm.
web, and it's a kind of untapped industry for us, black owned. There's just so many people they're learning more about black owned brands, and it's
Mhm.
just continuing to grow. But I do meet some people. Uh, they have a specific brand that they like. They like Hennessy or they like tequila. And I'm telling them the different brands that's even better than the one you keep putting all your hard earned money to. And it's not circling back to us in our community.
Right.
And you can't put emphasis on that aspect enough. So each and every day, uh, if I run into someone, that's a alcohol enthusiast and they like a certain brand, give an opportunity, I'll steer them towards someone that I've met or some brand that I know about. And
Mhm.
it opens up a whole larger umbrella of the unknown that people never knew about.
Because I really feel like we want to buy black
Oh
and
yeah.
we just don't know that there's avenues out there. And a lot of them have gotten to the point to where they're able to ship it right to your home. If you can't get to it, they'll bring it to you. And I think that the biggest checkmate is, especially as far as the tequila, when this big controversy about the Don Julios not being what they say that they are, but
Right.
being such a big price, this is what we do in the club. We need to have this. It's high price point, and it's
Hmm.
not good. And when I'm trying to sell whatever I'm trying to sell, I'm giving them the education as far as like even before that. I was like, but if you really want this, you know, it's over here.
Right.
This is a great black brand. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, check it out. I have to kind of step to the side, like because I'm working for somebody else. But I said, hey,
Hmm.
someone saw get this.
Right. So as you mentioned, the e-commerce aspect of brand distribution
Hmm.
It's growing by the minute. And I have to shout out my friend Charles. The
Yes, your friend Charles. Yes.
oh yeah, I speak well. I met Charles. I talked with him a few times, but I definitely uh, I seen him last month, and I've seen him a few times. And so he has e-commerce site with
Yes.
all black owned brands. Your friend
Hmm.
Charles.com. It's
Yes.
you
Yeah.
are friend.com. And so if you're just sitting around and you're looking for uh, for a place to shop black owned brands, you definitely have to start right there.
Absolutely.
Uh, but I'm with Republic,
Hmm.
and that allows me to branch my footprint um, with six
Okay.
states right.
Okay.
So
What states?
I have Louisiana, of
Okay.
course. I have Texas, uh, D.C., Maryland, Georgia, Florida. Uh, let's say six states. Kentucky.
Okay.
Those are my seven states. Seven
Okay.
states. Right?
Well, definitely keep that in mind. Because I've been ripping and running. Because usually, if I can have the product in on hand, I usually
Mhm.
already have it because we do something for we do bottle shares with beer, but in June we do nothing but black owned liquor.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
we just like I make sure we're at a restaurant so we have some food because we're gonna be drinking, and we'll have to, do it neat. But then we have somebody else that's making crafted cocktails with some of the items that we have. But we
Mhm.
have a great time learning it, and it's kind of like show and tell.
Right.
You bring the bottle, but you tell me the history of what's behind it. Tell me, because
Mhm.
that's going to drum up more business, more curiosity, and then we end up changing bottles. Like, oh, I really like that vodka you had. Let me trade it for this tequila that I brought because I already had
Right.
some. So that's what
Okay.
we need to do. But
Okay.
when Charles launched his site, I put it up to let people see everything because I did interview Charles. I met him at Barrel and Flow. I met him right after I interviewed him. I saw him at Barrel and Flow in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and congratulations to him. He just got engaged. So
Yes,
Charles
he
is doing
did.
his
Yes, he
thing.
did. Yeah, he'll be a hard man to keep up with. I have to
Mhm.
catch him in the spring or something.
Right.
Right.
Well, let me see what else. Oh, so if Portier was a soundtrack,
Mm.
what would be 3 songs?
Wow. I don't know. You got me on that one. Let me see. If it was a soundtrack, what would be three songs?
Would it be hip hop? Would it be R&B?
It would be a little bit of everything. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
I wasn't trying to stomp you, but okay.
Man, you set me up with that one. I would have.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Just keep on thinking about that. If you think of something, you let me know.
Yeah, I'll come up with that.
So let's see. Um, so you're doing distro, you have 7. How was that? Was being in Texas, because usually for the most part, usually when I'm talking to people, there's somewhere else in the state, and you're in the same state that I'm in because I'm in Dallas.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're right up the street.
Yeah, I'm right up the street. So, uh, how was it as far as doing the distro with Republic? Because that's a pretty well-known distributor.
They
Um,
are well, they are a well-known distributor, and a lot of networking, um, shaking the right hand, and uh, the right phone call.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely was a process. Um, but in hindsight, it wasn't it wasn't that difficult. Of course, you got to sell your brand. You got to give your sales deck on your vision of where you're trying to take your brand. So it was a huge deal for me, and it took me definitely almost the entire year and a half to kind of set my foot in that footprint for sure. Um, my my market, you're in Dallas, so we have the seventh largest uh, market in the country,
Okay.
the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally can stay in if I chose to. I could stay in the Dallas, Houston, Galveston, San Antonio, and Austin market.
Mm-hmm.
I could just circle around in this market, and I could be okay if I chose to go that route. But I deliberately put the traditional premium mark on my brand to expand out of Texas as well.
Okay.
You know, Texas most of the Texas brands, they deal with corn,
Mm-hmm.
and so I didn't want to box myself into that category. So that's why that helped me go with the traditional uh, outlook to to expand to more consumers outside of outside of the state.
Yeah. That I could see how Texas would be, kind of like safe and warm,
Yeah,
safe, but
yeah.
being able to expand in such a short time period, but that's really remarkable. I don't know if my audience knows this, but I know this that in that short period of time to be in those different markets, those high markets is really really good. So kudos to you and
Thank you,
what
thank
you
you.
because that's everybody can't say that because they usually can try to be in their one state and can't go
Mhm.
anywhere else. They can't move. Um,
Well,
and it's
I, I definitely I definitely have to say now what helped expedite that process was uh, being in that veteran circle. You know
mm,
that helped kind of get me in front of the right people.
okay.
So that wearing a uniform for as long as I did, and just meeting different people, and that Texas uh, workforce, the Texas Veterans Commission, that kind of that helped me kind of get where I need to be.
Okay.
Uh, I can't be silent on that part, you know,
Mhm.
and on top of the skin color for sure.
Right.
So I had to add that part in.
Hmm.
So that's
Well,
that was a benefit.
well, I would definitely be remiss. Just I know I mentioned it before in previous podcasts, but John Winthrop, which is with Cajun Fire in New Orleans, he
Mhm.
just acquired the ability to just do distribution in all 50 states, which is a feat. He's a Jeopardy question now. Um,
Right.
so when if you
Wow.
decide, when it comes time, have to
Mhm.
try to keep it all inclusive, which is what my dream is with being Black and Craft, is that we're able to go to Black farmers to make the product, go through Black distribution, and get it to Black stores, to Black faces, liquid to
That's it.
lips. And I
Right.
think it's feasible.
It definitely is.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But it's gonna happen. So that's one little part that hasn't that has been a barrier with distribution. So in making it happen, I'm glad to hear that he's going to be able to have that ability. I believe there may be one other person that I know of that was doing distro. That was a person of color,
Mm-hmm.
but. That was all the questions that I have for you. I'm looking up. That's really everything that I have. But
Uh-huh.
it's been amazing talking to you. And I just want our audience to know that your story reminds us that legacy is not bottled overnight. It does take a process, and it's
Yes.
distilled with passion, purpose, and perseverance. And if you have not had a chance to experience Portier vodka, you already heard there it is near your door. So especially if you're in Texas, you can get your hands on it. So now that I know that
There
is,
you
I
go.
knew you're in Houston, but I didn't know if it was available. But now that I know,
Oh yeah.
okay. So make
Yeah.
sure that you follow Robert on all socials to keep up with him and keep up with the legacy that he is building and that delicious vodka. But we're going to go
All
ahead and
right.
say night and hang on. Thank you again for
There it
joining the
is.
American Craft, where we don't apologize for recognizing our influence on vodka.